and also thinking skill and leadership in ICT, and also English integration in education. Thank you again. All right, so
Thank
we
you
have
very
something.
much.
Thank you. All
Thank you.
right.
God bless. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Goodbye. And we have something interesting coming up um, about the challenge of online class for international school on COVID-19 situation, presented by Mr. Poramit, Director of Lamkemhang Advent International School, and Mrs.Alissa Kordprom, Principal of American School of Bangkok. Well, hello, welcome.
The same screen with Alissa.
All right, okay.
Okay. You can go first.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Challenges. Oh, okay. So we've already talked about the fact that we don't have that human connection. And that's been super difficult, especially being in an international school and most all of our instruction is in English. So our students that have any type of learning disabilities or need extra accommodations or are lower in English, they've really struggled with this online learning platform, which is something that we are still constantly trying to make stronger. We do a lot of one-on-one tutoring. For our school in particular, we were lucky. We knew that the e-learning was coming because we were watching what was happening in China, and we started preparing our e-learning platform before we had to actually close, which is kind of where most of the Thai schools right now are in terms of you guys are preparing to open. So we had a plan, and we really decided to follow our exact schedule that we had during the day online. So we, like at 7:55 when the kids had their first class in school, they saw that teacher at 7:55 online. They had break at the same time, they had lunch at the same time, and that worked for us. That might not work for every other school, it just kind of depends, but the tech has also been a huge issue. I don't know if you guys have had issues with that, just parents not being tech savvy and having to log into different educational platforms like Google Classroom, Zoom, Google Meet. All of that has been pretty glitchy. Some other challenges. What about you?
What I can add is when we got the directive to change from student coming to school to online, we felt the time given to us was quite short. We didn't have enough time to prepare like most of the school that will be opening in July. But luckily, the teachers, the admin, the students were being trained with online learning for quite a while. A lot of schools could handle it very positively. A lot of schools struggle with it. Now, the issue that really bothers, and I think would take an advice to everyone is divide your team into a few groups. One that tasked with communicating with the parents on how to do things, and divide them again into kindergarten, preschools, elementary, middle school, high school. Subgroup this communication and try to send as much communication to the parents as possible. Get the feedback from them, what they're doing, because at the end of the day, a relationship approach is always the key to success. Unless we have a good relationship with our students, it will be affecting the student learning. They are in a shop, studying at home. It's new for them. They need to discipline themselves. Things change. Everything is not going to be the same. So we have to accept that fact and learn from it. Number two, get another team of admin to encourage the teacher. At the end of the day, the teachers and the staff at the school are stressed. And if we're not going to take care of our teachers, then they cannot deliver well. What happened is we need to support our teachers. We have to understand that teachers are also in fear of these diseases. And at the end of the day, they're stressed because their family in their countries are going through a lot of issues. Now, if the admin can separate a group of communicators to talk to the teachers, counsel them, be with them, support them, not just pressure them that I need it delivered. That would help the process. We need to hold hand of our employees, our teachers, and our communities and walk with us. This is a new normal. We're not going to be able to adapt to this new normal in a click of a time. A lot of schools have a lot of time to adapt now, but take that approach, because our employee, our teachers are the best resources you have. If you cannot take care of them, you cannot be able to take care of our students. Learning comes from two sides, the delivery and the listener. So once we communicate with the listener, our students, and communicate with our teachers, the flow of it will come. Sure, we will struggle with technological know-how. Sure, we will struggle with our equipment. We will struggle with the online methodologies. People need to adapt. Give time, give space, and be flexible. Once we start listen as an admin, the third group are the admin and the curriculum design. We need to come back and redo the whole process. We cannot just take what we had and try to deliver that. Once we do that again, we're missing out. This is a new normal. This is a new thing. We need to adjust. So this curriculum team is needed to redefine the whole thing. How are we going to teach math now? How are we going to teach English now? How are we going to teach science now? How are we going to deliver PE? How are we going to deliver art? Because everyone is still looking at the same old thing. We're going to start the school in the school, but we're not looking at the fact that the whole environment has shifted. Now it's not in a school atmosphere. Students are not going to take a break. Students are not meeting their friends. Teachers are not getting a break they need. Everything changes. So the curriculum design need to come up with a plan. How long should I do an online session? How long should I do my live session? In my schedule, would I allow students to talk to one another because they need to interact? Are we just deliver, assess, and we need the grades? Are we coming in that perspective? At the end of the day, learning will take place, but we need to come up with a new design. And yes, once we tackle into three groups, we're getting a group of communicators to the parents, communication to the teachers, and a design. Once we have a clear guideline and give them a new design, teachers can deliver better. Now let's come back again. Do we have an online session for 45 minutes, for 20 minutes, for 15 minutes? Then what? Do we record it? Do we go live all the time? Do we check attendance? Do we not check attendance? This is a policy where admin needs to come back, draw a line, and say, let's do this way, let's do this way. Then the communication group will go down and deliver them to the parents, deliver them to the teachers, and the design group will continue the work. Now, the new normal will happen for years. Like Datuk said, COVID will stay with us, like dengue stayed with us. We need to shift. And once we shift, we need to what? Create a new standard. At the end, our job is to what? Once the student come back to the school, protect them. But more important, we need to protect everyone as our stakeholder. Parents, teachers, students, staff, down to the gardener. If we're not looking at the safety of our gardener too, it's not going to be good. So humans are very important here. And at the end, admin needs to change their mindset. Mindset shifted will help deliver, and education will become a new normal in this system. As school will continue, and once the student come back, I think online will still go on. I think people will adapt to it. But how we going to deliver our content will change. And that's where I think all of us going to come into a fact that our target group are different from Thailand, based in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, or in the Northeast, or in Malaysia, or in Singapore. We cannot say that this worked there. It doesn't work in our local community. So at the end of the day, we need to adapt. So the last key element that I really want the admin to look at is the adaptability that we can have and the flexibility. At the end of the day, we cannot use what we have or used to have or used to do and say it will be a success if we just plug them in to the online community. It's not going to happen. So adapt and be flexible. Be open to new ideas. Be open to new learning methodologies. And at the end, break them down to your communication group, to the parents group, to the teachers group, to the community around you. And the design is needed. So I added 4 things here. One is we need to communicate with our parents, our students, our teachers, our curriculum design is shifted. And at the end, administrators, directors need to have a new open mindset, be flexible, be willing to acquire new knowledge, and willing to adapt to this change. It's not going to be the same again. That's what I can say.
And I think one thing to elaborate on too that you've talked about is just that adaptability and that flexibility of being an administrator and kind of giving up your idea of what administration used to look like. I spent a long time because we went into quarantine and closed the school down in mid-March, and we're obviously not returning for the rest of this year, which means that our testing that we did to check to see if our kids grew isn't happening. Our PLCs and the PDs that we spent so much time as teachers working on, there's no closure to that, because for admin, what's very important during these times is what you talked about with the stress of what our teachers are going through. You need to figure out what is important and what is just busy work, because a lot of what we do, even as teachers, sometimes turns into busy work. You need to get down to the bones of the situation and say, what is important? What do we need to move forward? What do I need to weed out? And maybe once things get back to a better normal, we can start that up again. We stopped doing our PLCs, our professional learning communities, just because I knew that was going to be another stress on top of what my teachers had to do. We stopped doing weekly school meetings where, I mean, trying to get 70 teachers on a Zoom session at one time is not going to be effective. So instead, we reworked everything, and we have weekly department meetings. Science meets at the same time every week. Math meets at the same time. I've limited my communication during emails to just what they need to know. There's no more like just checking in and like just being like, oh guys, today there's free, like there, it's not there. I do check in personally with all of my teachers almost on a daily basis, but the massive amounts of emails that I used to send aren't happening anymore because I know that would stress them out. And that's something too, when we're talking about curriculum, we're at this beautiful part of education, I think, that we've been kind of granted a gift that we can now reassess what is actually important that we're teaching our kids versus what was just busy work. What are the standards that we need to hit, and how do we need to hit them? And what does that look like for grading? Grading has been something else that we've really tried to look at, and we are going to continue. We're lucky our elementary is standard based, which means they're all going to be moving and progressing towards a standard. They might not have obviously hit mastery like they would have if they were in school, but it'll get better as we go on and keep weeding through. But for middle school and high school, our school is going to continue doing the grades, but that looks a lot different. Teachers have to weed through about, do I have to give all of these assignments, or should there only be one for a unit that these kids really need to spend their time focusing on? Is giving them worksheets every time I see them really beneficial to what I'm trying to get them to show? Like, the teachers are reassessing how they're teaching too, that's amazing PD just right there, because they're growing and they're understanding what they're supposed to be teaching. Also, in terms of student work, deadlines, does it really matter anymore? I mean, I know there's a lot of teachers that are very strict. You get it in on this day. If you get it in a day later, you're getting points taken off. That shouldn't be happening anymore. These kids are in a completely different situation. The teachers are in a different situation. Having those same rules that we had when we were operating before, we can't do that anymore. And again, every school is different. Every school is going to be able to tackle these issues in a different manner based on what their community needs. But yeah, due dates, that kind of stuff, we've been really flexible. We don't have due dates. Even though grades are due, we're giving kids extensions to be able to get stuff in after the school year. We have to. Otherwise, all of our kids would be getting Fs, right? And we can't do that either because they're trying. It's just not. And especially because we're learning as we go. So to try to think about, okay, well, if we're learning and we're changing, then we've got to give time to our parents and our kids to learn and change with us, and not expect them to be able to pick it up right away and make those changes. So.
I mean, I'll add to that. Let's take a rubber band, and it's elasticity. Mm-hmm. We need to be elastic right now. And we need to let go of some of the things that we are so rigid. before this.
Right.
And so at that point, like I said, the mindset of the admin is needed to be flexible. And once that comes in, and your teacher is on board with you, your parents are on board with you, students are on board, then we can progress. And unless we come to that point, we cannot. Now I'll bring the example into grade 1 and grade 2, 6 years old and 7 years old, because that's where the problem is. Could they do online? Could they not do online? What are the help that the school can help them? The teachers are doing their best to send work, to do live sessions, to do video recorded sessions with the students. But at the end of the day, we need to understand a 6 years old nature. Staying home is in a new culture. They are used to being home and not study, and to come to school and then study. So at the end, if we're still wanting to teach them, assess them the way that a 6 years old is assessed at the school or taught at school, things not going to materialize. On top of that, a lot of parents need to work, and we never hear that are they going to be at work by 8 o'clock or by 7:55 or 8:30. But at the end of the day, are they in the car at that time when the first class begins? We need to come to terms with those facts. And once we are, and we understand them, we can help them more. I mean, an example would be, can we provide help afternoon? Can our TAs provide help extra one-on-one with them in the afternoon? Parents can sign up. Are the session recorded, even though if it's live, and the parents can reschedule and watch them in the afternoon with our helper? I mean, if an admin could look at the human aspect of people and how they are affected, and have this word, compassion. Once we have that, we can progress. And things that we are facing, challenges that people are complaining that this is not going to work, that is not going to work, because we want to give what we want to give. We're not compassionate at that point. So at this point, I think we all who's going to go into an online session have to understand. And that's where I'm looking at. Now let's go back to the nursery till K3, or we call, some of you would call them early years or kindergartens. What can we do to help them? And a lot of things goes this way. Communications with parents, recorded sessions. We can adapt from schools to schools what we do. Homework being sent home, there's a package that we can do, deliver them, record the TV recording of the teachers can be sent through line instead of online. Things can change. It does not need to come through Google Classroom in every sessions. So that's what I'm saying. If you can customize down, not just look at it as one piece of one model fit all, it helps the student and the parents and the teacher, because at the end of the day, we need to help them, and it's our job. And kudos to all the teachers worldwide. You know, I mean, I understand the doctors and the nurses are going through a lot, but teachers are going through a lot too. Anxiety, stress, adapting, and all that. So kudos to all of our teachers out there, and all the best. Learning can take place. We need to learn too as teachers and admin. So we need to continue. So any additional to those ideas?
Again, it is just look at your community, look at what you need to do, figure out what works, communicate. We did a lot of surveys too. We didn't always get the feedback that we wanted to get, but it helped us move in the right direction into a place where now this is almost week 7 for us. The first couple of weeks were a little rocky, and then it fell into place, and the parents stopped calling, and it started to feel like a new norm had already started to get better. What was our saving grace for our school in particular was schedules. We in the first couple of weeks, we went at it, and this by no means is the right or wrong way to do. This is just what worked for us. We had that time to plan, and we knew middle school and high school, sure, could follow the exact same schedules. Teachers would be online with them. They'd be work assigned. They'd see their class every single day as per their schedule for as long as they needed to. It might have not been the whole time. It might have just been the check-in. All depends on the situation. But we tried with elementary and early years to only teach at 9 a.m. because we thought maybe the kids would get up a little bit later and they could check in with their teachers, and the work for the day would be posted with video recordings of the teachers going through their things. And that didn't work for us. And our parents were like, we have to go to work, we need schedules. So then that pushed us for K1 through grade 5, then went to follow their daily schedule too. So when they saw their Thai teacher during the day, they saw their Thai teacher online. When they saw their music teacher, they saw their music teacher, which means you've got K1 through grade 5 students in front of a computer from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., which is a lot, right? But we found that that's A, what our parents really needed, but B, also that gave the kids something to look forward to, because they didn't just wake up and see this is the assignments that you needed to do. They were able to connect with their friends. Then we took it a step further and started dividing classes into groups of like, this group goes with this teacher at this time and this group goes here, so we could differentiate and create individualized plans for the kids that needed it. And then everything slowly started to fall into place. We did make the option of closing our nursery 1 and 2, which is 2 and 3-year-olds. We did close that program and switched our term to July. So they didn't finish off the year. They're going to come back in July to finish off their year, just because they can't. Those little ones, we couldn't find a good way that worked for us to get them to sit down for that period of time.
Can I add more? I mean,
yeah.
once you create a structure, and the research goes on that if we let the students stay in front of the monitor too long, it's not good for their eyesight. So create a eye rest time. Every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, create an eye rest moment in your structure scheduling. Once you do that and stick to that platform, request that create an animation or video on what the eye rest session can be done. Students need to get up, walk around, take a drink water, use restrooms, and those things. If you create a video clip on it, send it out to the students, and they know what to do during my eye rest time. Or create a session with their friends so they could rest and then talk to their friends or enjoy or laugh. And these kind of things shift the attention span up, because the students in elementary need to take a break. And being in front of a monitor too long do not help anyone, not even till high school. So my point is, when you plan the structure, keep in mind the eye rest of the student. Keep in mind that they are human beings sitting, and if they were inside the classroom right now, they can walk around, go talk to their friends, get their mind off. And the teacher inside the classroom did not teach 45 minutes throughout. They taught for like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, and there's activity inside the classroom. So this kind of expectation is needed to be pushed out and realigned with our students. A class that are 45 minutes might not be 45 minutes online. It can be 20 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, and then things can shift into places. Iris takes place, movement of student is needed. We need to guide them, because students, once they sit down, they're comfortable, they're gonna take a snack, they're gonna sit there, they're gonna eat snack and learn, and things are changing. So according to all this, step back and redesign the process, evaluate it. What I did with my teachers was I told them, reflect on what we did every week and how we can make it better, looking at how to help the student in these situations. And if once those reflection happens, we communicate up better ways to come out with it. And it works differently from one school to another school. So there's no one policies that fit everyone. There's only how to use the technology that is one fit all. But how to be creative with it differs from each place. So take a step back, and then don't be over rigid. Create a system where you care for them. The word care means all rounded, not just care about that they are delivered by the content, but care that their eyesight is in effect, their eating pattern, their home, they are not with their friends. They need social life. Once we care about all this, then the curriculum design, the structure design changes. And we can change from time to time. It's not that one structure, once fit in, will last for the whole time period that we're doing this. Once we adapt to it, be flexible with it, adjust ourselves, and keep adjusting. And this way we improve, because these are new to all the schools too. And these are not just like additional resources. This has become a standard resources. So take a look again, reflect on yourself, on what we did. What I did further was we created a teacher team of 5 teachers or 10 teachers, and we reflect on this thing. And then we let them share with each other how I can improve and what is attracting the student in, what is happening to the rest of the student. And then let them drop by and ask the student, how do they feel? Because survey being done to the parents is one thing, to the student is another, personal talk is another. So once we gather all these surveys and feedback, sometimes we feel bad about the result. Don't. My advice would be, we take it positively so we can make it better. And trust me, the parents is gonna not understand what we are doing. And therefore, frustration is there. The frustration is not because we're not doing right. It's because we don't have the same expectation. And we do not understand each other. That's why when I started, we said, break it down to different groups and start communicating and listen. The last thing that we need, and the most important thing, is listen. Listen to our parents, listen to our students, listen to our teachers, listen to our curriculum design. Listen, because being an administrator or a director, without listening and understanding and reapproach and guide them, because without listening, we won't know. And the fact that leaders always think we know most, and this should be done, have to be taken out of our hand. Because without listening, we don't understand. Teachers can work from home. Teacher can work at school. What's convenient? We work that out with teachers. And we cannot say everyone must come in, punch in at this time, go home at this time, because that means you're not listening to them. It does not mean they're not working. There's a way to check them if they're doing their things or not. You see, so open your eyes, but also, most importantly, open your ears, because without listening, we're not going to be successful in this winter.
And one more thing that I would suggest that schools do if you are moving into e-learning, do what you were talking about, making sure that the kids take breaks and not just focusing on academics. Do virtual spirit weeks, do different challenges that the kids can send out. We've done 2 spirit weeks now for our school, and they've been like silly challenges of, can you do this coin trick at home? If you can, have your parents film it and send it in, and then you get points for your house team. So we've tried to keep a lot of the same systems that we had in terms of fun and getting the kids outside. We talk about every morning, we do a morning announcement that gets filmed and shared with our parents and our kids. And there's always teachers coming in doing shout outs. We have something like an artist of the week. Our teachers still doing that. We teach them about like, okay, it's Friday, guys. What can you do this weekend? Go outside, play a game, run around, make sure you're taking breaks. Or Tuesday's an eating healthy day. Take a picture of your lunch and how you're keeping well during this time. Or, hey guys, today's Thursday. We're all stressed. Tell us how you deal with stress. And you get some pretty cool videos of what these kids are doing, and then we can give it to our team and they compile these amazing videos of what these kids are doing, and we share that out. So still, even though we're so far away, we can still use technology to build that community sense that we have with our school, which also helps with communication. And just being there. I think people are probably now annoyed with this 7 weeks of hearing Miss.Alissa every morning talking into their computer, but it's consistent, and it's a way that the school at least can show that we are in this with the kids, we are in this with the parents, we care, we're here, and we just, we take every day, one day at a time, and you just keep getting better and better as you go.
All right. I mean, those are some of the tips we can give, because we face a lot of challenges 8 weeks ago. So we went through that. and practice. It takes time, but be open.
And take it easy on yourself too, and don't do anything on your own. Use your teams. You all have excellent people at your school, administrators, teachers. You're in this together. You're stronger together. Work through it together. Don't think that you're going to create something and it's going to be perfect. It's not. It's going to change, and you pick yourself up and you guys keep moving forward as a team, and you'll get through it. We'll all get through it.
Yeah. ครับอาจารย์
Okay, thank you very much. This is have a word value from your experience that you have 1 or 2 months that you have a problem from COVID. The effect for the international school, this is real time, and how you make situation that have more benefit for both teacher, parents, and audience, you know, and stakeholder that come for to participate with your to school. This is a good experience from our principal, our head teacher and parent in normal school. How to do that? Have the good way. For example, from Mr. Poramit, the director of Ramkhamhaeng International School. That means that you have a 3 category of the people and teacher, both the students, you know, and so that Alissa, hope so you understand the family with Thai culture, okay? But so that this situation make us to improve, to develop, and more understand intercultural, you know, intercultural. Not only about in Thai, okay? Important thing from the audience, not only Thai, but from Malaysia, from another country that come to join today. Got experience from this. So that I would like to switch Thai a little for talk with audience in Thai, okay?
Okay.
ครับท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านครับต้องขออภัยด้วยนี่เป็นครั้งแรกของการใช้สถานการณ์โควิดนะครับเพื่อเอาประสบการณ์และบทเรียนต่างๆแท้ที่จริงแล้วนั้นสมาคม ES เนี่ยเพื่อจะเสริมภาษาที่2ให้กับทุกคนในประเทศนี้ผ่านกระบวนการจัดการเรียนรู้หมดเลยสถานการณ์จะช่วยให้เราปรับผมเองมีประสบการณ์การใช้ภาษาอังกฤษเป็นสื่อในการสอนโรงเรียนเกือบ20 ปีคนที่ปรับยากที่สุดคือคุณครูครับ ที่ผมพูดเมื่อกี้คือ culture วัฒนธรรมองค์กรทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างแต่ถ้าเราช่วยด้วยสถานการณ์นี้เราจะไปอย่างดีโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งทำไมเราสามารถถึงอะไรครับฟิกเรื่องของคนเคสของโควิดเนี่ยของไทยเนี่ยขึ้นเป็นอันดับ1ของโลกได้นี่คือประเด็นที่เราน่าคิดหยิบ situation นั้นมา apply ในเรื่องการศึกษาเพื่ออนาคตท่านพอประมิตรโอ้โหเด็กอนุบาลมันจะเรียนยังไงเขาก็ต้องมีวิธีอื่นที่จะ deliver เช่นเอาเอกสารไปส่งทุก2 วีคเพื่อให้ผู้ปกครองเป็นไงครับและเผอิญผมก็มีประสบการณ์จากการสอนทางไกลที่ไม่เคยเจอเด็กเลยผู้ปกครองเป็นผู้ช่วยเด็กที่ดีที่สุดแต่ถ้าเขาอ่านไกด์ที่คุณครูออกแบบสั้นๆง่ายๆให้เขาไปจัดการไกด์ได้เลยนะครับเดี๋ยวตอนสุดท้ายท่านจะได้ชมเพราะนั้นโอเคครับ I switch back in English. Thank you, Alissa, and thank you for Poramit. Especially thank you for Isaac. Okay, International School Association of in Thailand. Okay, they help us and collaborate together for improved quality of education. Don't only born in Thailand, also world citizen, especially future citizen of the world. Okay, thank you. Okay, so have a nice day. Thank you, ครับทุกเกียรติเจริญทุกเกียรติ
ครับผมโอเคครับ Thank you again for your presentation ครับ I do agree with your presentation and I got impressed about your tanking plan. The sounds well organized, and it gives me the idea how where the whole school can go forward together. And I do agree that human needs the offline activity. Exactly true. Okay, now I think it's the time for next session. ใช่ไหมครับหมอครับ
เชิญเลยเพราะ next session เราจะต้องลีฟจากตรงนี้บอกผู้คนไปลีฟตรงนี้ไปเข้าตามโปรแกรมให้เสมือนบอกว่าเนี่ยท่านครับวันนี้เราเรียนรู้ไปพร้อมกันในกระบวนการนั่นคือหมายความต้องอ่าน instruction อ่านอะไรนะสคริปต์ที่เราส่งให้ท่านไปถ้าท่านทำได้แสดงว่าท่านมีความสามารถการอ่านออกเขียนได้และเอาไปใช้ได้ครับอยู่รอดได้นะฮะตรงนี้ฮะนี่คือการเรียนรู้จากสถานการณ์จริงๆครับโอเคครับเชิญครับวิลิตครับ
เป็น panel session นะครับ online classes from EIS network schools ครับ on social distancing COVID-19 situation ครับ
เดี๋ยวสมเกียรติอาจจะเอาสกรีนให้เขาดูหน่อยไหมว่าเขาต้องคลิกตรงไหนเดี๋ยวผมแชร์สกรีนให้หน่อยผมแชร์สกรีนให้หน่อยเห็นไหมครับ
อ๋อครับ
แชร์ให้นิดไหมแชร์ไหม
เดี๋ยวเอาสกรีนตัวที่อาจารย์อันขึ้นมาอันนั้นใช่ไหมครับ
เอาแชร์มาเลยแล้วเพื่อจะให้โชว์ให้เขาหน่อยเพราะว่าคนตรงนี้ได้รู้เขาจะได้วิ่งเข้าถูกไงเพราะเราเปลี่ยนห้องตอนนี้อยู่ในนั่นมาเพราะว่าพอเมื่อกี้ผมจะแชร์แล้วปั๊บโอเคนะแชร์สกรีนโอเคแอปพลิเคชัน Windows โอเคนะ for example Home โอเคครับเห็นไหมครับทุกคนเห็นไหมฮะเห็นตรงนี้ไหมฮะเห็นไหมพอเห็นไหมครับผมแชร์แล้วนะเห็นไหมครับตอนนี้เห็นไหมเห็นไหมฮะท่านเห็นไหมครับผมกำลังแชร์แล้วนะครับเห็นตัวนี้ไหมครับเห็นไหมครับเนี่ยลองเข้าลิงก์ตัวนี้ครับเห็นไหมฮะเห็นลิงก์ตัวนี้นะครับผู้เข้าชมนะครับตรงนี้ลิงก์ตรงนี้ได้เลยนะฮะลิงก์ตรงนี้นะครับผมจะคลิกให้ดูนะครับตอนนี้ผมคลิกเข้าไปแล้วดูซิว่ามีคนเข้ามาหรือยังนะฮะตอนนี้กำลังจะเริ่มแล้วแหละนะครับตรงนี้โอเคทุกคนเข้าตรงนี้เลยนะครับตรงนี้นะฮะเห็นไหมฮะโอเคนะเห็นคุณสุภชัยเห็นไหมเขาได้เห็นไหมโอเคไหม
เห็นครับเห็นครับ
ผมกดให้ดูนะแล้วคลิกทุกคนคลิกตรงนี้เลยเข้าตัวนี้ information ตัวนี้ครับแล้วเดี๋ยวเราก็จะเข้าช้อปปิ้งตัวนี้ได้เลย
ครับ
หมายถึง
ผมเอาตัว
เลย
ลิงก์วางไว้ในคอมเมนต์ให้เราครับ
โอเคขอบคุณมากเอาละผมก็จะลีฟออกจากสตรีมตรงนี้นะ
โอเคครับผมสวัสดีครับ
โอเคครับสวัสดีครับ
รับชมรายการต่อไปได้ตามลิงก์ด้านข้างนะครับในไลฟ์นะครับเอาลิงก์ไปวางไว้ให้แล้วนะครับสวัสดีครับ